Hello, hello.
Hi.
Let me turn my speaker down. It's nice to meet you. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Where are you from?
California.
California.
Like 30 minutes from San Francisco.
Okay. How'd you find my channel?
So, yeah, how did I find it? Just looking at trying to just know more about avoidance, and I learned about attachment styles, and I just wanted to you kind of came up on the feed, and I like your energy, and I like how your approach, and I just like that you're very straightforward, and the things that I've learned from your channel I've implemented and have worked.
Okay.
um However, I'm still anxious. So
Thank you, Jack. Yeah, for sure. I
yeah,
mean,
so
it's a
when
process.
I'm not listening to you, or when it's in the moment, I do things I'm not supposed to do, and
Okay.
I get pretty extreme. But anyways, we've been together for 3 years,
Okay.
and every time it gets really good, and we're not fighting,
Hmm.
we're teaming together, and we're doing things together, and you know I'm not calling him a million times, and he's calling me back right away, and you know or he tells me, hey, I need some time to get back to you, whatever, like, but he at least gets back to me right away to tell me that he's busy, right?
Hmm.
Then all of a sudden he'll just like, I won't hear from him.
Yeah.
So, but I tried to be understanding, and I was letting it go all summer,
Hmm.
and then it turned into like him just totally pulling back all the way, and to me, him telling me that he needed space. So again, I tried to give him that space, and then now it's been 5 months, and so
Wow.
summer was like choppy, right? And then
Okay. How
a
long are you
month
guys
and a half
together?
after that. I'm
How
sorry.
long are you guys together total?
3 years.
3 years. Okay.
um and so now at first, 2 weeks ago, he told me, you basically telling me that I need to learn self-love, and I need to not be, learn to regulate my emotions,
Yeah.
and I'll wait for you, while I'm learning this, like, I'll
Okay.
wait for you. And and then 2 days ago, we get together for coffee, just a casual coffee, and he tells
Okay.
me he's moved on. Ship has sailed, I've moved on, and I'm like, what
So
is going on? Like,
that sounds a little fishy, huh? A little sketchy.
but then this morning has sex with me.
Mm.
I
I
mean,
think let's tap into your women's intuition, your woman intuition here. What is your woman intuition telling you?
well, okay, so I'm gonna tell you that I'm very anxious, and I've actually had my friends follow him sometimes.
Okay.
And he's never with a woman. He actually is with his brother, like, having beers, and my friends have, like, been staking out at his house sometimes.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, I've gone to that extreme. Just because if he was cheating on me, I wanted to know. But every time I check up on him, he's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You
that
know,
makes it harder for me to leave, because I feel like that I'm the one that's at fault. But I mean, he just totally pulls away and doesn't talk to me, and we were on a level where we were really close, and we were talking about everything together. We even started a business together, and
okay.
now, like, even that's,
So now you're
and I
enmeshed.
didn't know,
Yeah.
but then,
You
yeah,
have
now we're
a child
matched, and
together. You have a child together, essentially.
yeah, worse, it feels like a marriage, because
Yeah,
it's like
it is
a
like a
child,
marriage.
yeah.
Hmm.
So
So
I just don't know what to do.
quick analysis, high level. This sounds like a case where he probably was showing up secure, but got triggered into his dismissiveness, where he didn't feel emotionally safe anymore. Because I always wonder why a person they're not able to take those next steps, and it's usually an indication that they see some red flags and they feel like some sense of unease and uncertainty to prevent them to
Oh,
going to the next level.
oh, I totally, yeah, that's exactly what it is. But he doesn't want to take accountability that he's the one triggering those insecurities in me. Like just
Mhm.
by just leaving, like ghosting me.
Mhm.
It's like, what do you mean? We were just together for a whole month, almost every day together,
Yeah.
contacting each other every day, and now you just leave for 3 days? Like
Yeah, that
anyone's
almost
gonna
feels
feel
like
questioning.
if I'm gonna be totally honest, it feels like gaslighting is what it's It feels like, and then they come back like nothing happened.
Yeah.
All right, so
But
Kelly says I used to always think he's cheating too, but he wasn't because the human mind wants to make sense of something. If people start to show up that way, you want to put it in a box. You want to understand it. And as anxious people, people who have strong fear of abandonment wounds, we automatically go to, oh, someone else is more, he's interested in someone else, or she's interested in someone else. You automatically think the worst case scenario. They call them ants, automatic negative thought. You don't think like, oh, this person's stressed out at work, so they may not want to be around me at this time. They may be struggling with finances or whatever could be going on. We go automatically to, oh, it must be another person. But I'm telling you, every time that you do something like that, you have your friends stalk or you're checking their Insta story, their Snap story. That's feeding that little insecurity inside you, and it grows to something that's uncontrollable. And I guess times where we need to practice that self control is going to be the times where it's going to get a little better each and every time. All right. So you don't check his story for an hour. All right. Next, make it 3 hours, make it 5 hours, and find ways to self soothe. Hang out with your girls. Maybe you need to take times and like put your phone away, like completely just leave and just leave it in the house, leave it under the bed or something, whatever, something crazy. Go to the grocery store and not do it. And just practice breathing and just being totally present in where you're going. Because I can tell you that he probably just got, I mean, 3 years of that. I'm guessing that he was just hoping and wishing that you'd be able to self soothe and self regulate. And it
but
never
he
happened.
didn't tell me that that was the problem for like a year and a half. How was I didn't even know. I
Okay,
didn't
so was
even
he
know what
avoiding
was
like,
going on.
did he ever show up secure in the beginning of the relationship? Let's say the first year and a
Yeah, he showed up secure at the beginning,
half.
and
Okay,
and he told me he wanted to take it slow, and that he wasn't necessarily looking for a relationship, but what was
okay,
kind of open to it. And we took it slow. I mean, we didn't even like kiss for like 3 months, 4 months,
yeah,
and then we were just it was just progressing just naturally, like, and
yeah,
we were really connected. And then all of a sudden, like after a year, um he was supposed to go to Tahoe with me and our two kids,
okay,
or not our two kids. I mean, like I have a kid and he has a kid,
okay.
and then at the last minute didn't go with me,
Hmm.
and then that triggered me. So I started getting anxious, and then ever since then he stopped hanging out with me on Sundays when that was like our day to be together, and
So
then
it was a slow kind of
yeah,
pull.
it was just a slow progress, and I didn't, but never telling me what's wrong, never telling me, just and avoiding talking to me. So I
Yeah.
was trying to just be cool and be like, okay, he'll come to me when he's ready. And
Uh-huh.
like I was just trying to go with the flow. But then, but then he started to like not text me back. And I'm like, okay, what the? And so then after a while, I'm like, okay, come on, can you just tell me like what's going on? Like, tell
He
me what's
was
going
he
on.
was he was avoiding the conflict. He was avoiding having that discussion.
And he's still avoiding it. Like even this morning, after I was there this morning, I'm just like, I'm like, look, I need to know what's going on. I'm like, because if you know, I feel like you're not interested in me anymore. I said, you're
Yeah.
not even going on dates with me anymore. I said, but you're calling me all the time. You're trying to make it look like it's just for business, but then you want to actually see me, and then you want to you get close to me and want to kiss me and stuff, and then I don't hear from you for like I don't understand what
Yeah.
you want
See,
out of this.
well, someone said it perfectly. He's having his cake and eating it too. There was clearly a point where he downgraded the relationship to something else. Um, when did you guys start the business together? How far into the relationship?
About a year, and we were going to seminars together, which means we were going like out of town and we were in hotels for a week at a time together.
Okay.
And I mean, but see, the thing is I give him space. Like,
Hmm.
like he wanted to study on his own. Okay. He went down and had beers with the guys while I stayed upstairs because I was tired. I mean, like, I give him space.
Yeah.
Um, the only thing I guess you can say I press on, or like I'm insistent upon, is when I get frustrated to the point like I feel like I don't know what's going on, like like I feel like either he's upset with me with something, or just like I let it linger for a little while
Yeah.
to
And then
give
you
him
blow
the
up.
space
Yeah.
to come to me, but he never does.
Mm.
It's only when I get frustrated to the point that I threaten to leave. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
since you don't want to talk to me, I'm just gonna take some space from you. I gotta leave because I can't handle this anymore. Like you're making me go crazy in my mind,
Yeah. You
and you're not wanting to
protest.
talk to me. I said then I gotta distance myself from you. And then that's when he'll open up. Like, and that's when he opened up today. But now he's trying to say he just wants to be friends with me.
Okay. So what
But
would it take
but
for
while
that?
he's tearing up, while his eyes are tearing up, so I know that's not really what he wants.
Yeah. But and that's the thing. Like you have to take him for his word and give him exactly what he says he wants. What would it take to dissolve the business and to like kind of separate you guys from that? Because he's going to have to feel this in order for if you want him back at this point. I think like, all right, you already gave him 3 years. What's going to be the deadline? What's going to be the cutoff for you to invest any more into this, to stop investing in it?
Um, well, I haven't been investing for the last 4 months,
Okay.
but I'm really about to just cut it off and like not talk to him at all, because I don't. He's not telling me. He barely tells me he cares about me. The way he tells me is, that I care about you. I'm like, well, no, I don't know that you care about me because you don't tell
Yeah.
me, and because now you're not even showing it anymore. You
Hmm.
used to show it to me. I said, but you don't anymore. You don't even hang out with me. You want to be my friend, but you hang out with friends. I hang out with my friends, and you're
That's
not hanging
true.
out with me.
That's true.
So I said, and I'm not trying to, and we're not technically together. So you can see whoever you want. But the point is that you're not being my friend if you're not calling to hang out with me.
And then
So
it'll keep you
don't.
single. That'll keep you single because you're waiting and you're thinking that it's going to go back to what it was. And if he's not willing to, like I said before, counseling or something like that, therapy, um, then it's probably not going to work out. So that's
So what
my.
do I do? Just leave him alone and like really cut him off and just forget about it?
I would cut it off. It's been 3 years. This is totally your decision. You can do whatever you like, but at some point you have to ask yourself, why am I doing this to myself? Like I'm torturing myself.
Well, I just feel like, okay, well, like the first year was good. The second year, I mean, I'm not saying that I'm an angel. I mean, I definitely reacted wrong and I've done some pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean,
And
like
those and
stuff I'm not even
sometimes
going to say on here.
those
But
sometimes those are the relationships that were like the sacrificial lamb to you finding the person that's really for you. And maybe you're not really ready to be in this type of dynamic. You need someone that's going to be more secure, that's able to understand where you're coming from and be present with you, at least until you
so
can get that under control
so
and
do I
like
stay friends with them, or do I
heal
just?
some of those. What does that look like? You have to ask
What,
yourself that. What does staying friends look like? Texting each other daily, weekly, hanging out, because then you're just going to want more. And forbid that he ever was hanging out with you and you see someone else calling or texting, even though you're just friends, that's not going to feel too good. So that's just my advice. Protect your heart
So
and do it.
you don't think that there's anything that I can do?
When it's been this long, I can see if it was like a relationship that kind of deteriorated within the first year, and then you say, you know what, I might have made a mistake. Maybe I was wrong about her. Maybe she's going through something or whatever. But when it's been something that's been relationships that been going on 2, 3 years, and it takes a step backwards, it downgrades, then I don't really see those being able to move forward in a healthy manner. You know, lots of toxicity, lots of protesting, but as far as like peaceful and functioning and healthy, probably not.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
No, it's not what you wanted to hear, but yeah, I try to shoot straight with people, you know. Try to shoot straight. Oh well, so here's another thing. Maybe if he promised you that he would be able to show up for you again if you did the work on yourself and learn how to be more peaceful. Or, but I don't even know if it's peaceful though. I think it's more you're stating your needs. I think that's a very good thing to do. Your boundaries, your needs, and what you require out of the relationship. But if he's not willing to like meet you halfway and kind of sit with you in your experience, then it probably won't work. This will be
He
the
just
type.
said that he doesn't see any progress, and and then he told me he needed to see progress, and then because he that creates anxiety in him. Like me calling 3 times, 4 times in a row, he doesn't want that. If he says he needs to get off the phone, he needs to get off the phone, and he'll call me back. And I mean, and he's been calling me right back, not taking 2 days, like
Yeah.
he used to. So I mean, it's better, but and he just says
My
he needs
my,
to see it for a
my
little while.
when I was triggered in my state, real bad. My counsel was like, your wife don't want to see that. Every time you call, it's like a bill collector calling, like bill collector. Like, do you really want to answer that call? Someone that's just gonna just interrogate you and make you feel bad or whatever. I forgot what I was doing, but it was not good. It was very triggered. So yeah, sorry. When he treats you like a celebrity, when you treat him like a celebrity, he'll treat you like a fan. Well,
Well, I don't treat him like a
yeah,
celebrity.
someone just said that. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think people realize that when you have that anxiety, it's literally like getting your nervous system hijacked. Like you have no control. You can be telling yourself, "Don't send this text message."
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
I'm so
But
happy.
I
I'm like,
have
I wish
been
I would
learning.
have had this 5 years ago. Now the iPhone's got this unsend thing. I'm like, oh, that would have saved a whole lot of arguments and turmoil because
But
you
they can see
immediately
the
regret it.
unsent message,
Yeah, you
but better
embrace
than them
it.
reading it.
Yeah, but self-control and just calm soothing your own anxiety is key. And that's why I'm starting this women's group is to be able to get you guys the tools. So thanks for coming on. It's good to
Thank
meet you.
you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet
Appreciate it.
you.
I hope that
Bye.